Why I'm an atheist. Before this, I've never been bothered by atheism or given atheism any special attention. However, 2 weeks ago, I had a discussion with a work colleague who told me that he did not class himself as either an atheist or an agnostic. He did believe in a God, but he was ignorant of which God to believe in. It was kind of a new kind of a way of thinking for me. I'd never heard of somebody being classed as an ignorant. Then again last week, another work colleague mentioned that even though she believed in another religion, her husband was an atheist. So this got me thinking, and I went to YouTube and I searched for videos titled Why I'm an Atheist. I really wanted a quick real-life introduction into the philosophy that an atheist lives by. Now these videos were shot, I think, 1 year, 2 years, maybe around that time, 2 or 3 years ago. So they are not recent videos. So I just picked two random videos and was immediately struck by how similar they both were to each other, as though both of the persons sharing their beliefs had been reading the same kinds of books or listening to the same kinds of materials regarding atheistic thought, or were actually, going through the same experiences in life and were living in the same kind of society that was going through that change. I'm sad to say that both videos did not give me a really serious answer as to why the two people in the videos were atheists. I had hoped for, I was ready for a number of possible reasons for being atheist, such as I'm an atheist because I am seriously looking for God but have not found one, so somebody who is on the way. Another reason could be I'm an atheist because I have been seriously looking for God, but I have not been seriously looking for God because I've just been so busy with life and I've not yet found the time to think seriously about it. That would be acceptable as well. So another reason could be I'm an atheist because I've been distracted and too lazy. I've been doing a lot of other things, and hence I've not yet found God. Or another reason could be I just don't care, so I just want to be left alone. I don't care if there's a God or there is no God. I just want to live my life as I choose to. I would be okay with these reasons. But surprisingly, the two videos I happened to pick were both videos that did not have this kind of a view. So the videos had three basic parts to it. The part one was they go into what the definition of atheism is, which is good to understand what the term means. Secondly, what the atheist currently believes in. So it's not that the atheist believes in nothing. The atheist does believe in something. And thirdly, which was the surprising bit for me, was there was a lot of ridicule and scorning, and it was a hating of Christianity. So, why would you add part 3 in there? Just tell me you're an atheist and what you currently believe in, but I don't want to know what you hate. And that's the reason why you're an atheist, because that defeats the whole thing. So let's look at the 3 parts. The first thing is, what is the definition of atheism? So, atheism is not a belief, rather it is a neutral position. An atheist simply lacks a belief in a God or a deity. That's good. I understand that. You do not believe in a God or a deity. That's acceptable. So let's go into part 2. What does an atheist currently believes in? So the atheist says, I do not believe in any supernatural God, but I'm passionate about myself and how I feel, and I will make a God out of humanity and put humanity at the center of my universe. My beliefs go like this. Purpose. I don't believe in God. That does not make me a bad person. My life still has a purpose. Morality. I don't need a God in order to have morals. I have a secular morality. It's a morality that I get from the society that I live in, from the people that are around me, and from what I personally feel is right and wrong. Equality. I believe in equality. I do not like discrimination against people, especially gay people. Evolution. I believe in evolution because I put a lot of high value on evidence, and the evidence is right there in front of me. Cosmos. When I think of how small we are and how much is out there and the very beginning of things, sometimes I start to question how it happened and is there something more? Goodness. I am not a Satan worshipper. Atheism makes me a better person, a happy person. It makes me appreciate the only life I have. Humanist. I am a secular humanist. Feminist. I am a feminist and believe in equal rights for women. Skeptic. I am analytical, critical, skeptical, and use my brain to think critically. Science. I believe in science as it provokes me into wanting to discover more things. Thinker. I am a thinker and encourage people to think. In my daily life, I question why. Charity. I do not believe in prayer. I donate to charity or helping people in trouble. That means I believe in doing concrete help for people. Fulfillment. I feel like a weight has been lifted from my shoulders by giving up my previous religious beliefs, and I feel now more fulfilled in my life. Present. I am not waiting for anything after I die. I am living in the present now to the fullest. Secular society. I don't believe in God, and this is why I am promoting life in a secular society with no religion. I have a personal problem with religion when it seeks to affect on the laws of society. You can't deny that fact that a society that is less religious is more tolerant of other people. Social justice warrior. I am a social justice warrior and fight for people's rights that is being taken away. That is why I am making videos about atheism, because so many people are afraid to talk about it. They feel atheism is this nasty, negative thing that you have a belief that there is no God. So those are the beliefs that the atheist holds in general. So it does not come across that the atheist does not believe in nothing, that they hold a neutral position. They strongly believe, and I would go to this point to say that they strongly believe in a God and a religion. The only difference is that that God of the atheist is not a supernatural God. Rather, it is the God of humanity, where what is good in the eyes of humankind is what is the right thing to do. So surprisingly, if that's the way of thinking, I'd be keen to understand what are their stands on marriage, divorce, abortion, euthanasia, treatment of widows and orphans, treatment of the sick and the elderly, poverty, etc. Somehow, both the videos did not touch on those things. Perhaps they were not relevant, or perhaps I need to look elsewhere for how the atheist considers those aspects. Okay, so having looked at the definition of atheism and what the atheist currently believes in, let's go into part 3, which is where the atheist gets into the real reason why they are atheist. It comes across as though they are rebelling against something, they are revolting against something, and that comes out in the form of ridicule and scorn that they pour out on Christianity, on the Christian God, the Bible, and the believers in Christ. So as I asked, was part 3 really needed? Usually when I move from one country to another, I accept the new country, but I have fond memories of my previous country. I don't pour scorn and ridicule on my previous country. Similarly, when I moved from being a bachelor to being a married person, I accept being married, but I don't pour scorn on all bachelors and the bachelor way of life. Similarly, when I lived with my parents, my mother, I loved my mother. And then when I got married, I left my mother and I lived with my wife. And I love my wife, but it's not that I pour scorn and ridicule on my mother. I have fond memories. So here too, if somebody was a Christian before and is now an atheist, I respect that person's belief. But what I don't like is the hurt, the feelings, the hurt, the scorn, the ridicule that's bent up in there, and they feel the need to pour out this scorn. And perhaps, it's not a one way, it's two ways. Perhaps they're experiencing the same thing. So so maybe I just need to accept part 3. So let's look at what this list goes on. It says, the Bible. I do not believe in the Bible because it's anti-humanist, it's anti-science, it's anti-progress, it's sexist, and it's misogynistic. It has homophobia, racism, has slavery, it condones violence including rape, infant murder, and finally it uses fear as a means of control. They also go on to say, I do not believe that the Bible is true just because a church out there says it's true, or that so many people have read the Bible. There are so many other bestsellers out there that could compare. So I do not believe the Bible is true. Thirdly, they also go on to say that I found something in the Bible that's in there that should not be there. And the common indication is the reference to Leviticus chapter 18 verses 22, which talks about homosexuality. Indoctrination. So I was indoctrinated as a child to believe in something that I had just taken at face value for so long. Next, God of the gaps. What isn't okay is to fill in the blanks with an answer about God, using the God of the gaps to explain away things that we do not know, rather than just say, I don't know. Next, burden of proof. The burden of proof is not on me, but on the person making an extraordinary claim. An extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence. Christianity is the right religion. How come all other religions are false and the one that you picked is the right one? Next, creationism. I cannot accept that some believers believe that the earth is 6,000 years old. You can put the evidence right in their face and they will ignore it because some ancient book of fairy tales tells them something else. Next, God's laws. I don't cling to these ancient laws. Things are presented as fact that are truly untrue, and things are presented as moral that are clearly aren't. Next, punishment and hell. I don't believe that an all-knowing, all-benevolent God would actually punish people. How can I accept that we were created as sinners and that we were created imperfectly on purpose, and that the only way out of this is to obey or burn in hell forever? Next, oppression. I live in a society that is heavily influenced by religion. It affects my life daily, and I am going to talk about it. I am going to fight for people's rights that is being taken away by something that I think is outdated and unnecessary. Prayer. Don't make yourself feel better by saying I am praying for the needy and that God will take care of them. Help the suffering and the needy people right now. The present is what we have. So those are the lists that came out in part 3 as in why they were revolting against the previous religion that they held, and in many cases it's Christianity, because that's the religion they know best. So, to conclude this, we have looked at all the 3 parts. For me personally, the unconscious, unspoken message that came out strongly from both these videos was, firstly, what is the definition of atheism? Secondly, People who claim to be the new atheist still believe in a God and a religion. The only difference is that this religion does not believe in a supernatural God, rather a God of humanity. And thirdly, many of the new atheists are actually in rebellion. They want a get-out ticket to be free from what they claim to be control, to be able to do as they please, just so long as it's done in the name of humanity. For them, following Christianity takes control away from them. They cannot accept this and want to be in control of their life. Hence, they reject Christianity and embrace atheism because this then gives them a ticket to live their life in any way they choose and are not being told what they need to do and need not need to do. And the big one is, this is a way for them to be more socially acceptable amongst their friends. As I conclude, I must ask, how many of these atheists still hold on to their strong-held beliefs even today, and their new God of humanity even today? I'd be interested in knowing what their stand is on nudity, pornography, bestiality, pedophilia, etc. Why do they not talk about these things? Or are they just moving with the times and accepting the different isms that happen to be in fashion at that time? Amen.